Good evening, mortals and monsters, and welcome to the very first episode of the Fables of Alaemyr. I'm your Game Master Jay, and I'm so excited to be sharing what we've worked so hard on over the past 2 years with you. Before we jump in, I got a few things I'd like to share, get out of the open, and get you caught up on. So one, we are a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition troop. We have a good number of house rules, so the game may look a little different than how you play at home. If there are things that you like, great, take them. If you have any questions about them, come hit us up on Discord, and we'd be glad to show you what we're using, how, and why. There is a link to our Discord that's right on our Twitch. You can click on that, and it'll invite you to our chat. If there are things you don't like, that's okay. It's all good. We're a story troupe. I know you'll meet a lot of PCs and NPCs you're really going to love. Number two, this is not the first session our troupe has had. We've been playing these characters for over a year, so there's things that you might not get. Our goal is going to be to explain everything as it comes along, but we may have missed something, because most of us, at least, are human. If you're really interested in something that you've missed, and you want to catch up, we, and by we, I mean not me, but our lovely lore keeper, Allie, has written an extremely comprehensive summary for all of you to catch up on today's session. It's on our website, fablesofalaemyr.com. Link, once again, down below. Number three, this shows take a ton of work, and we've had help from a ton of amazing people, artists, animators, composers, musicians, riggers, web developers, pets, emotional support animals, and every single one of them has undercharged us to an insane amount for their work and their time. Please give our lovely partners a like and a follow on their socials. That I'm sure that would help them out a hell of a lot. Buy their books if they write books, all the good stuff. Right now, we have them all thanked in our ending credits, which you'll see at the end of the episode. But if you're hearing from the future and are on YouTube, they'll be in the channel description below. Finally, our socials are all down below, as I keep saying over and over again. Giving us a like, a follow on any or all is super helpful to the channel. And if you think we did extra amazing, special, awesome, good job, you can give us support on Patreon. And that's also super helpful. So now, with all of those announcements out of the way, let's get ready for Chapter 1 in the Fables of Alaemyr. We start our story tonight in a small clearing in the dreaming forest. The bright sunny sky is interrupted by only the occasional wispy clouds overhead. Hidden away from the bright sunlight, we see a small creature, only a handspan in height. It is a long, furry body and 2 tall ears and a twitching nose. Our little friend hops along the forest floor in search of tasty roots and clovers to keep him sated. He is careful to keep quiet, as there are many dangers in this forest. Our cotton-tailed hero freezes as he notices something's wrong. His ears, which are so carefully in tune with his forest, perk up. He feels a thunderstorm approaching. No, not approaching. It feels like it's already here. He looks around nervously. Clear, windless sky, nose twitching frantically, and he sees a rip in the sky. Out of this terror falls 5 individuals. They crash several spans to the forest floor, landing with a meaty thud. As they lay gasping in the afternoon sunlight, our furry friend's keen nose picks up the acrid smell of smoke, mixed with something sweet and putrid. One of the fallen humanoids is smoking. He springs up, bound on all fours like a wolf, hissing all the while as he scrambles underneath a tree and growling. This thing is a predator. Our little furry friend has stayed too long. He turns to flee as fast as his legs will carry him. As the predator flees, there are 4 humanoids left on the ground. A young half-elf calls out to the spooked vampire. Peercy, can you please describe your character for me? And what does he say?
Well, Talon is, as you see before you, a mid-20s half-elf, fair of skin, red hair, blue cloak, the very gold-encrusted Lily of the Vale pendant around it, and he wears a chain with a crystal behind it. Almost looks like a seed. And First thing Talon says as he looks around wildly, it's like, are we here? Did we make it? Did we save the dragons?
Dragons? What?
Yes, the dragons. The dragons. We were helping the Dragon King. He had us go. I don't remember.
The vampire that's hiding under the tree, eyes open wide as his wounds slowly heal from the burning sunlight, turns around to the other members in tow and turns to a metal warforge. Burke, do you know what he's talking about? Ian, please describe. Please give us a little introduction about Burke, and please respond.
Burke is a 6.5-foot tall, hulking mass of wood and metal. He's easily mistaken for an automaton, but it's been proven the hard way that warforges have hearts and maybe souls? As a warforge, he needs no sleep, no food, and no water, so he carries very little with him aside from his big-ass maul and a handful of ranged weaponry. He is scorched, he is burnt, his outer carapace is super heckin' scuffed and covered in gore. But if you're observant enough as he's bending funny, shrugging, there's living metal underneath, flowing beneath the armor. He looks around at his surroundings. This is normal. And he shrugs again.
Okay, normal. Last thing I remember is Vesper pulling us through time. Vesper, what do you remember? Vesper, are you okay? And Allie, please describe your semi-conscious character.
Vesper is a human woman in her mid-20s, early 20s maybe. She's got brown hair that comes a little bit past her shoulders, sort of choppily cut as though she did it herself. She wears a purplish red wine-colored tunic underneath some simple but very fine black leather armor. Sheathed at her side, one on each hip, are a pair of scimitars whose handles are decorated in grapevines and other similar plants engraved into the metal. And I believe she currently looks absolutely beat to shit. The tips of her fingers are bleeding. She's got scratch marks on her face and her hands. Her armor is all scuffed. Her shirt is torn. Her hair is a mess. And I think she's currently sitting on the ground looking woozy and trying to stop a nosebleed. As she turns and is like, sorry, what did you say? I can't. My head is spinning.
Talon has some memories I don't, and I'm just trying to see if we're here in the right place and time. Do you remember dragons?
Dragons? No. I mean, we were in Tlaloc, but we never actually saw a dragon there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think I'm going... And I think she just passes out.
That seems completely correct. Vesper has been through a couple of things. So Star, Vesper passes out next to you. What do you do?
As you correctly assumed, Sir Star was already there. Kneeling next to Vesper as she was talking was couldn't quite tell it at the time, but someone who's about 5'9" with a strong but agile build. Bronze skin and hair flowing. Flowing and flowing. You can't tell where the hair stops. It seems to almost get tucked into his armor at points. And you're not sure how much there is. His eyes are piercing but relaxed and brown. Sir Star is next to Vesper, and as he was already rubbing her shoulders, just kind of calming and soothing. You might even see a light glow from his hand. And as she passes out, she passes out right into his arms. And he just gently lays her down onto the ground and continues soothing her with his divine hands and his divine touch.
It is a few minutes, Vesper, before you regain consciousness. Your friends are around you. You seem to be where you intended to go. But something is missing. Something that you've given up. Something you traded away to allow the impossible to happen. You awaken, and your friends are around you.
There's
The sun
also
is shining.
there's
ahead.
also sunlight.
Yeah.
That
There's
is
also
new.
sunlight.
Yeah, I feel like she, wakes up and Sir Stormhammer has rolled her onto her back or, is kind of sitting with her. And so she kind of looks up at him and relaxes a little bit of seeing a familiar face. And then she looks kind of beyond him up through the canopy, right? And sees the sun shining down. It just closes her eyes and, soaks it in for a second before shooting straight up and going, Rogers, are you okay? Oh my god, we need to get you somewhere in something.
As you
she's
turn to
like,
face Rogers, he's in the absolute smallest ball he can make himself under a tree. He is, as the rustling of the leaves in the wind creates small pockets of sunlight, he is constantly trying to dodge them and is unsuccessfully, as he is continuously being scorched in one way or another as he is healing rapidly the damage. Fine. I'm fine.
Wait.
I'll be okay.
Helen, do you have a cloak or something in your bag? At least an extra change of clothes, anything,
What?
just to block it
Of
out.
course, of course. I have a secondary cloak.
Of course.
What
Ah,
is-
yes, the secondary cloak.
The secondary cloak.
Why is
I thought it would
He-
be cold for some reason.
hiding?
Feels like fall. Fall is when we left, right?
When we left?
When we went into the Feywild for the first time.
Feywild.
Do you not
But-
remember?
I remember many things.
Helen, what is our mission?
It's the future.
Yes,
No.
go on.
It's to get you back. It's to save Rosebark.
We will need to save Rosebark.
And the rest of the country, while we're at it. Are we in a spot that we would recognize? Can I look around and see if this
Actually,
is somewhere
that
we've been before?
is a great time. I was about to ask. Give me a perception check, please.
Oh shit! First dice
Oh
roll.
boy,
First dice roll!
roll of the game in a
Let's
skill
go.
that I am proficient in perception.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
somewhat aware of
Doing
it. How good are you at looking at this stuff?
Did you ask all of us?
Allie asked to check around for her, so I asked her specifically. Y'all
Okay.
want to make some? You're welcome to.
Oh, then I
don't-
do.
I don't think Talon's making perception checks just yet.
He's not allowed. He's in his own little world right now, and he's perceiving different things.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 12 on the die for the
Okay,
first
not
roll,
bad, not
which
bad, not
isn't
bad.
That's a total of
No.
18, which is good.
Okay, excellent.
I have a total of 24.
Well then.
Okay, way to flex over there.
That's what I'm good for.
Awesome. Okay, so Allie, what Vesper sees as she looks around this forest clearing, first thing that you notice is the foliage itself. You haven't, just despite the fact that you haven't seen greenery for 6 months, doesn't mean you forget what trees look like. You spent most of your life in this part of the world. You are in trees that look remarkably similar to the trees outside of Rosebark. Do you recognize this exact clearing? No.
But like the biome is right.
The biome is right.
Okay.
The sunlight is there. The sense, as you look around and smell, that smell of earth and oak, and that slightly salty smell that comes over the mountains. You're in the right part of the world. Are you within? You can pinpoint yourself exactly? Probably not. If you climbed a tree, you probably could.
I am not in any condition to be trying to climb any trees right now, so I'm
No.
gonna take that as it says as she looks around and makes eye contact with Sir Stormhammer again and says, "I think this looks right. Tree wise."
I'm pretty sure this is the right place. I am, as you know, very good with directions and landscapes, but
Yes.
One thing
there's
that
something that concerns me a little bit more in this moment. Sorry, did you want to go ahead?
I have one more thing for you, but I'm curious what you're going to say first. So please go ahead.
Okay. Talon, come here, please. Can I feel your forehead? You don't seem all right.
Okay. Is the tower still under
as
attack?
your stars. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Is the college still under attack?
The college?
Yes, the college that where we
well-
learned magic together.
Let me touch your forehead.
Oh.
And as he does, Sir Star pushes 5 points of healing back into Talon.
Okay. Talon, you feel rejuvenated. Your sore rump from falling about 15 feet out of the tear in the sky seems to have mended itself.
Okay.
But your mind is still fuzzy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. I knew you knew great magic. But Burke,
Of course.
Burke is a magician non par. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We all need
Sure.
rest.
Rogers kind of motions for you, Talon, to come sit next to him. And assuming you do,
Yeah.
he will just shush you and kind of stroke your hair and just kind of try to whisper reassuring things to you. It's
Thank you.
okay. It's okay. We're back.
You remind me of a
Here,
butler
we're
I
in.
once had.
I choose to take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think he's ever had a butler in his life.
I don't either.
She just kind of nods, like, okay, as long as we're on the same page about that, we'll deal with the weirdness later.
Right. So Star, as you are trying to kind of looking over your patient, Your incredibly keen vision notices a bird in the distance, maybe a good 100 yards away, through a series of trees. You're not in very dense forest or foliage. There are clearings, so it's not the most reasonable thing to see some bird so far away. But what strikes you as strange is that the bird's wings are extended and it's fixed in the air. As you take a moment, the sounds of the forest fade away, and everything feels close.
And my companions are the same.
Yeah, they are fine. They have not noticed this yet. As far, yeah, but they are all
Curious. How very curious.
Burke is standing remarkably still, but that's usual for him.
no difference.
Vesper, it does seem that we are in the correct place, but take a look. Take a look at this bird way out there. You see it? You see this bird?
I look for the bird. Do I see the bird?
If you
And
point
Sir
it out
Star
to
is
you,
pointing
absolutely.
at it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your doing?
Bird?
You see it there stopped?
I did
Looks like a
That
statue.
would be a grievous misuse of power. And as you turn behind you, you see two individuals. One,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
that's all good. There are two individuals, both of a height, somewhere around 5'2" to 5'3". One is a old woman. Her face has become puffy and sagging with age, so much so that you can barely make out the piercing blues of her eyes. Flowing white hair traces all the way down to her feet. She holds a walking stick with a carving of sigils and runes along it, as well as a bracelet with charms, some of which resemble hourglass cogs. And a 9-pointed star. Her cloak is of a deep pink with gold arcanic runes flowing through it. Below it, she wears a simple white shift. Beside her, her companion, is a young man, barely out of adolescence. He wears glasses. He's got sandy red blonde hair, gaunt features. He wears a pink scarf, the same color as the old woman. His cloak is simple, but finely made. He carries himself with assured posture and a confidence that you only get when you are old enough to know you know everything, but too young to realize you're wrong. He too wears a bracelet with a single charm, an hourglass.
Vesper's breath catches.
It was only a matter of time.
Very funny.
Forest people, great.
The young man steps forward and says, "The organization known as the Black Doves stands accused of the following crimes." He pulls out a scroll and reads from it. Conspiracy to create a new branch of the river without a permit, 5 counts. Forcibly removing a prime from their own reality, 1 count. Duplicating a prime, 4 counts. Traveling beyond one's own natural lifetime, 2 counts. Traveling the river without a boatman, 5 counts. Traveling the river for purposes of one personal gain, 1 count. The Inquisitor will now hear your defense. And he kind of stands back at attention. And the old lady kind of motions to him. Very good. And you can see he kind of gives her a deep bow.
You're from the Order?
Good. This will save me some time. Yes. I am from the Order of the Spinning Hourglass.
Then, might I ask a question first?
You may.
Can you see the future? Not you specifically, but your Order. Can you see the future?
We have some gifts in that direction. Why do you ask, girl?
Because we, as you seem to know, have also seen the future. And I don't know your allegiances or what you might wish to come to pass or not, but the future that we spent months in was a bleak one for this continent. But we've got knowledge now.
Yeah.
Maybe how to prevent it from coming to pass. And I'm not going to try to defend any of us from the crimes you've accused us, because I think they're provably true. But I will claim one very simple, call it an alibi, I guess. Self-defense. The only way that we, including all of my companions who are long-lived and would have seen this future come to pass, would be dead, were we to let it. So in order to protect themselves and their lives, here we are, in the past, where we belong again, to put things right. To make sure populations aren't wiped out.
You make an assumption, girl. My job is not to pass judgment. My job is to inquire about the laws that are broken.
Forgive me
The
then.
future, you say, is bleak. Yes, many on the river are. There are many where there are no living creatures remaining. It is not our place nor our purpose to choose which futures come to pass. We are enforcers of causality.
Well, we're not members of the Order of the Spinning Hourglass. And therefore don't have to claim any sort of neutrality on that front, yes?
She gives you a wry smile. Someone has taught you more of us than I expected. Yes.
His
I am
credit.
he-
I didn't know what exactly he was teaching me about at the time, but I think a lot has become clear quite suddenly. Are we in
I'm
trouble?
here. Oh, most certainly. But I'm here to learn of the whys behind the actions. And
The
give proper
why is
judgments.
simple. Fey
Yes?
trickery.
That's right.
We unknowingly moved through times. through powers not of our own, and fought with every capacity we have to get back to where we were pulled from.
The trumpet will prove it. Show her the trumpet.
And Sir Star pulls out the trumpet and looks for a response.
Give me a insight roll.
Okay. That is a thing that I'm trained in. That is not as good of a roll as I wanted, but it still gets me a 17.
Okay. As you look at this woman, you have difficulty identifying her age. There is not a lot. She's clearly human, and there's not many natural-lived humans you've seen that show the same signs of aging that she has shown. Spots, gnarled knuckles, liver spots all over her body. You sense that from her, there's a sense of patience in the way that she perceives the world around her. Though you look at her expecting a reaction of some sort to this object, you see her just taking it in. Her companion, on the other hand, might as well put a big exclamation point above his head. His eyes go wide. And he turns to her, and she just kind of gives him a little wave with her hand. And she says to you, "And what does the horn of a god have to do with you traveling through time? Were you working on one's behalf?"
I was not working on one's behalf to get there, but I did acquire this through divine intervention once I got there.
You say the
Listen.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I haven't met many humans like you. I can't quite place your age. Very similar to myself. Many find that they have the same problem with me.
She looks fragile.
I doubt
In
her
many
mind is as
ways.
fragile as her body looks.
Is that a threat, old man? She turns to Burke.
Burke shrugs and says, "Are we arrested?"
Remember the last old woman you tried to fight, Burke? You won,
She-
but at what cost?
She's dead.
She
Her
is.
family's dead.
By your hand.
Yep.
No, the trumpet. The trumpet has the essence. The trumpet holds the essence.
The trumpet was acquired in the future and has been imprinted with a being from the future.
Sort of.
Kind of.
I want to discuss your claim that traveling to the future was not of your own desire. You said you blame the Fae. Tell me this story. It may matter a great deal, your large friend's threats notwithstanding.
It's like that with everybody. Don't take it personally.
Oh, I take everything personally, Vesper.
That
She's
must
kind
be
of like-
quite exhausting.
Yeah. Vesper's expression says that, but she doesn't actually say the words.
We
Sir Stars says the words.
yeah.
Sorry, what did you say, Nathaniel? What did you say?
That must be exhausting.
Quite.
The short version is that this trumpet... Well, okay. Back further than that. We went through a portal to the Feywild because our companion, she gestures behind her to Rogers,
He gives a sheepish wave. Hi,
Yeah.
sorry.
was bamboozled through a portal by Fey, as one is. And as any good group of friends with a little combat capability on their side would do, we went after him. Not knowing that after we did our business in the Feywild, rescued our companion, that we would get spat back out 97 years after we'd entered on the
It was
prime
a-
material plane.
It was a lovely tea party. And some
That it
wine.
was.
And which fey creature sent you ahead in time?
We don't know.
Oh,
Did you
Gel.
We talked to
no.
several Fey, but I don't think,
No.
frankly, it didn't occur to me that any of them would have done this on purpose.
I thought her name was Gladrella?
Yes, that's it.
Gladrella is the handmaiden to the queen, but she didn't accompany us back to the portal or anything.
did she give you
I thought
anything
she
to take
told
back
us
with
the
her?
direction to go.
Yes, she did
Seeds.
give us directions back. And as she asked, did she give you anything to take? Vesper's rummaging around in her bag. She did. She pulls out I believe it's 3 seeds,
Mm-hmm.
grape seeds.
The old woman kind of looks over and leans over and looks in your hand.
She told us, well, this is personal business, so I thought.
These seeds don't seem to be anything that would endanger causality. Did they have you bring anything of themselves back?
Not the first time.
There
Talon
was
just-
another time.
Talon points
That
at the
time we
trumpet.
that time we got guaranteed passage back to shortly after we went in.
What happened the second time?
All right, the second time is even more complicated. So we had a traveling companion who is in the service of a deliberately morally neutral entity and convinced this companion of ours to steal some of our things and run away with them, which she did. And then she and her patron, his name is Tack. He's a devil of some sort. I've only met him the twice, I guess. But the second time, we were trying not to get killed by him, so less of a meeting, more of a... Anyway. And Tack and our companion bargained with the Winter Court of the Fae for our things in exchange for some information which we don't know, didn't matter to us, but that means once we'd confronted them about where they took our things, we had to go back into the Feywild to retrieve them because they're heirlooms and very important to us, and we were stuck in the future with literally nothing else to our names and thought we might go crazy if we didn't have the only things in the world besides each other that were important to us. That makes sense. And then during that trip into the Feywild, we maybe had a meeting, had an encounter with the Queen Mab herself. And in exchange for her delivering us safely back around the same time in which we left the prime material to the Feywild, and the delivery of our things, of course, she asked to try to store some of her memories, herself, rather, in the trumpet. Memories that she would have made in those 97 years that she wouldn't have now. Does that make sense?
Oh, more than you know.
I always sort of figured because of the time portal shenanigans, Fae queens were sort of timeless entities, but
No entity, god, mortal, or fey, is beyond the reach of time.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be lucky if I live to 90, so it's perspective, I guess.
Depends on the kind of life you live. You'd be surprised how long a human can live.
At this rate, the fact that I'm about to make it to 26 is a miracle.
She
think.
chuckles to herself. What I am hearing from you, girl, is that the Fae moved you ahead in the future and then gave you their memories to send back with you.
Sounds like
Is
some
that
Fae
right?
shit. Again, we didn't know that the sending us 97 years into the future was a thing they could do on purpose. So the fact that you're pointing fingers at an entity both clarifies things and upsets me. But we'll set that aside for now, because we've got other things on our plate. And seems like, she'll turn to her companions, we got by Fae. Again.
That was an elaborate plan.
Yeah. I'm a little flattered, actually. The fact that they thought we could do it is impressive.
Well, we are standing here. Just in case you were wondering, the memories were implanted into this trumpet, Star says to the old lady.
And now we get to the head of it. May I, young man? And she holds out her hand. The one not holding the cane for the trumpet.
Star's eyes narrow just a bit, and then he places it into her hand.
She looks at it. She kind of whispers something in her hands, taps her walking stick ever so slightly, and the horn flares in some brilliant light. You see layered upon it are insignia. There is a black quill that is insignia is placed within it. You see a white snowflake. You also see a frozen rose placed upon it as well as a myriad of other insignia and symbols. Oh, busy. And so as she traces it, the snowflake and the frozen rose are removed, while the other ones, layers upon layers, probably about a dozen different layers remain. And she hands it back to you.
You look.
Say again?
Go ahead.
It seems you traveling into the future is not of your own fault.
No, of course not. Why on earth would we want to do that?
And more importantly, it removes one of the charges against you.
Future.
Did you leave some of her memories?
No, I did
Okay.
not.
You
Sorry.
removed only hers, then?
She
Or
nods to you.
only her touch, I'd say.
I removed the guilty party's benefits from your actions.
I see.
That's gonna go over great. I'm sorry, not to totally change the subject, but I don't think I kept either of your names, and you seem to know ours.
It's correct. You did not. Dear girl, I don't expect you to see either of us again in any case.
Would you
But
like
it's
some?
impolite to not ask, right?
Would
You
you
may
like some
call me
spiced
Inquisitor.
trout?
Say again, Peercy?
Would you like some spiced trout?
She walks over to you, Talon, and pats you on the hand. That's very sweet, but I'm afraid we've just eaten, and
Oh.
one should never eat before taking a trip along the river.
Oh.
You see her companion, the apprentice, go a little green as she says this.
Right.
Can you help him?
She kind of bends over a little bit. You hear every bone in her body creak and crack as she bends lower to examine Talon and look into his eyes.
And
As
that's
she's
when
doing
Burke
that
strikes.
and creaking, as she's
Absolutely
doing that
kidding.
and creaking,
Please tell me you're serious. Okay, say
No,
again.
not at all.
Star goes over as she's bending and creaking and just gently pats her on the shoulder, pushing a few hit points of health into her, soothing her back.
She kind of smiles at you. It doesn't work like that, lad. But thank you all the same. And she kind of bends down, looking into Talon's eyes. She spends a few moments inspecting him. It seems that he is... Well, this is why we have laws. You should never travel the river without a boatman. To stare into endless naked possibilities can damage the mind.
But can you help him?
Some, I think. Alan, you are wearing a brooch, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
The...
Oh, you said Talon.
I did. What is the name of that brooch? Excuse me, I forgot.
The Sunset Gradient Lily of the Valley material focus. As well, I've also have the silvery elven chain. Well, the brooch is the Sunset Gradient Lily of the Valley.
That's right. Yep. And then you have the seed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So she taps your brooch, and her with her staff, and that 5-pointed star flares, and one of the delicate bulbs on your brooch changes to a quicksilver color. It spreads to a second, a third, and then a fourth bulb. As they grow in intensity, you feel a warmth coming from your neck. Can't think of right body part word. Your neck area, place where brooch be at. And
The brooch hole.
the brooch hole, yes, right in your brooch hole.
Yeah.
Perfect, exactly, excellent.
Right
You
below
feel-
the doodad.
You blow the doodad, you do the thing, it makes the noise, and it does the stuff.
Yeah.
You feel a weight of purpose, of time, of identity, as your mind is swimming with all the lives you could have lived. Some are more prevalent, certainly, the ones that we experienced and are off-camera adventures are the ones that are most obvious, but you went through the river of time with your eyes open in the most profoundly disturbing way possible. You saw thousands upon thousands of possibilities of what your life could have looked like. From a king to a pauper to a student to dying at childbirth, dying in childbirth. You had you were.
Oh.
There's one where you were working with a metal box, and you were in our world in a few of them. So it just nothing. Your mind is fractured and looking at all the possibilities of who and what you could have been.
I'm the master.
What she has done to your piece of jewelry is created a touch point in your mind about which reality feels more real. So as you touch this brooch, you are better able to identify that where you are is where you are from and where you've been. And this life, this set of experiences, feels more important and more real than the others. They're not gone. Your mind still sees those other lives. But they become more of a memory from long ago than one from this morning.
Thank you.
That will help. My
Maybe.
lord girl, how did you even travel the river without a boat?
I
God told us that our bodies were the boats.
I'd pull out the Amulet of Time from the ruined future Vin Asmer temple.
The most accurate version is we didn't have a choice.
We went to the source.
This river of time thing is obtuse at best, and we did not have time to seek a proper teacher to tell us, if we needed to do such a thing, how to do it within your rules or bounds.
I accept that you traveling to and getting back is not of your fault. These crimes you will be absolved of. But, and her posture and face hardens, I do want to hear the story of you pulling another prime out of their world.
Prime?
What?
I don't know what that means.
She kind of looks over at the young man, and he kind of recites as from writ. A prime is an individual who is in the place that their universe is from. This is, right now, you five are prime of this universe.
Oh, good, so we did make it back.
5.
Okay. I don't know
Pull out another.
when that happened. If it happened.
So the old woman kind of pulls up some notes, and she turns to you, Vesper.
Let me just save you some time. I have the chronomancy knowledge of like a 4-year-old. Okay? I didn't learn any of this until I was maybe 20. And even then it was like 16 months of on and off work, and still I couldn't really do magic as such. So the academic side of things is I'm woefully ignorant. You're gonna have to like real baby stuff here.
Okay, child.
Yep.
What you did is pulled a version of yourself out of her proper time.
Okay, great. When? I know that's difficult, but you know what I mean. When did I do that?
There was a battle.
Okay, we've had a lot of those.
I believe it was in a place called Tekuktar. You pulled in a possibility that was real and stranded her there.
Hekatar? Not like I don't know what Hekatar is. I know what Hekatar is. You're going to have to clarify for me, DM, because that was a year ago.
It was a year ago. Sorry about that.
That was a
Well,
long fucking time ago, and I don't even know if I actually did what happened there.
it's all good. I remember it happening. I remember you not picking it up, and I've been like sitting on this forever, and I want to tell you on Versailles. So one thing that you probably don't remember that you recalled is that there was a battle that, for context, everyone, Vesper, until very recently, has had the power to pull in has until all the time forever now, has the power as a Echo Knight to pull in possibilities of herself to help her fight. There was a time in the past when the possibility pulled in was not a shadow. It was flesh and blood real. It looked at you, it said what, and then you bounced and never did anything about it again. I remember this very specifically. It was like, "Ooh, this is good." And yeah, you pulled in a real version of yourself into to help out with a conflict, and then you guys fled before anything could have happened.
What
I think it
battle
was
was
Hekutar.
that?
I think it was Hekutar. I'm gonna have to go back
think-
to my note.
Because I think I deliberately didn't... Not to start off the first session arguing with the DM, but that's
No,
who
no,
I
no,
am
this
as a
is-
person.
Let us
I
go.
think- Yeah, no, I think I very deliberately didn't conjure any echoes in Hekatar because once we figured out that we were wanted, we were trying to
Right.
keep as low profile up as possible. So I remember this happening. Like, I
Could have been
remember
High
you saying
Hollow. I
that.
don't remember. I honestly said Hekutar because I couldn't remember what it was, and I figured
We
maybe
can make
we'll
it
go with it.
Hekatar. We have that
It's
power.
fine.
Nobody knows.
We do. No one knows. No, it's not. We're not live yet. It's fine. I mean, hi
We did it.
guys.
It's a divergent time stream.
Oh no,
Exactly.
wibbly
Vesper's
wobbly,
like, the
timey
nosebleed
wimey.
kind of begins again, and she's like, oh, hold on.
Who did what now? I don't remember. It's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you and say I remember exactly when that was, but I do remember thinking it was odd that she spoke to me. They don't do that.
No, girl. Shadows do not. Only primes do. And you stranded one.
Okay. It was an accident. That's a really shitty defense, but it is true. I didn't know that that was possible, and that I could do that, or how to do it. I'm not saying I didn't do it, because I assume you have some timey-wimey evidence that I did do it.
Yes, I'm
So-
quite confident you did.
Yeah. Okay. Then I guess the only appropriate next question is, what is the punishment for that sort of thing? Do I go to her timeline and have to live her life now?
Would be committing the same crime you did. Crime is not punished with a crime.
That would be nice. In the real
You
world.
must be schooled. Or have your powers removed.
And I think we're okay.
Are we now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some additional knowledge since you left?
No. The opposite, actually. I don't know what this boatman business is about exactly, but as you can see, we didn't get through the river without a cost. So rest assured I couldn't pull up another prime from another universe even if I tried.
She walks over and roughly grabs your chin and looks into your eyes.
Vesper backs up. She says, "Do not touch me without permission. Nobody touches me without permission."
If what you're saying is true, I must see.
And ask first.
So many people
Nobody
make
touches
that
me when I
mistake.
say so. So many people make that fucking mistake. It's so easy. Don't touch people unless you ask them first.
Girl? May I see?
May you see what? What does this involve? I don't
Look
like
me
to be
in the
touched unless I
eyes.
know what's happening to me.
I'm looking for the flows of mana that is within you. Look me in the eyes.
She's looking.
She stares hard into your eyes, and you're a few inches taller than her, so you look down slightly, but her gaze is a bit unsettling and piercing. You see a series of emotions go across her face. And she exhales. Oh, girl. What it's worth. I'm sorry.
I need it to be worth it. Do you understand? I need it to have been worth it. And I can't do that if I'm in school. Or if I'm pulled into some other timeline or in jail or whatever the else hell.
Burke
No.
is looking between Talon and Sir Star and his hammer. Just one the other, his hammer, one the other, his hammer. Lady, one the other, his hammer.
She looks over at Burke and she says, enough of that. You're in timeout now. And she snaps her fingers, and nothing really changes for anybody else's perspective. But Burke, everybody is moving incredibly fast.
Cool.
So you,
Literally out of time. Very
Yep.
cute.
she puts you in timeout. You know, just a time stop for bad robots. It's fine.
I mean, Burke starts drawing his crossbow to shoot her, but
I mean, that's fine. It'll be a minute before
Cool.
he's able to move enough for it to happen.
Very good.
So she walks over to her apprentice. So again, it believes that this crime has been dealt with. He kind of looks up to her and nods. I believe the only thing left is me looking through my notes.
What was the name she said? Who believes this was without permission? Has been dealt with, rather?
Say that again?
You said something believes that this situation has
believe.
been dealt with.
I believe this is, yes, I.
Because sounds like you said a name.
It does, doesn't it? But it didn't.
Okay.
Then all that is left is the first law.
Which is?
And he looks at her, and he hands her the clipboard. She takes it from him, grabs a quill, and scribbles and turns a few pages, grabs something down. And hands you a piece of paper.
Okay. What's it say?
It says, permit to create a new fork in river. Please sign here, girl. Your friends as well, and the middle one when he's out of timeout.
You're going to want to move when he's done.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Talon signs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Star reads over it and signs.
Can we also get a copy of those 7 laws? I don't actually think we ever learned them. If you had like a
She-
pamphlet or something.
They do actually. It's got a bunch of. It's not any photocopied or anything. Like obviously, because the technology is not so good, but it is well drawn and redrawn.
Mhm.
There are the 7 rules of time. They are as
A
follows:
really big rubber stamp.
I got a
big rubber
16 to
fucking
hit.
stamp. Burke, it's the next day. They've been gone for a day. Amazing. Okay, so it's rule 1. The creation of new possibilities is unlawful without a permit. Rule 2. It's forbidden to remove a prime from their own reality. Rule 3. It is forbidden to interfere with your own past. Rule 4. It is forbidden to duplicate a prime. Rule 5. It is forbidden to travel beyond one's own lifetime. Rule 6. No one may traverse the river of time without a boatman. Rule 7. It is forbidden to use time travel for personal gain.
Y'all
Are there
are
any of
gonna
these that we
wish that we
didn't?
killed her now.
She's gonna turn and sort of. Are there any of these that we didn't hit?
Rule 3.
Mhm.
Girl, you have not yet broken Rule 3.
Well, there's still time.
What do we got to do
No.
to break it?
You have to interfere with your past,
Okay,
with your own past.
got it. Got it.
Also didn't travel beyond the lifespan.
I think we very much did. At least I did.
Maybe you did.
I did.
I don't know how long I'll live.
Would you like to?
Pass.
I'll find out eventually.
We all do. She motions out beyond the clearing that you're all in. When you leave this clearing, 4 days will have passed. And your primes will be on their way to become you.
So, all we have to do for the next 4 days is chill in this beautiful glade of nature.
You misunderstand me. It's already been 3.
What?
It's moving faster out there than it is
If
in
you-
here.
If you take a look outside, you're seeing the sunrise. Even though the light in your little glade is pretty consistent, the exterior world is moving along very rapidly.
Huh.
I action surge.
Brooke shoots again.
Into next week. Excellent. She looks at the 5 of you. I don't expect we'll ever see each other again. But do good work.
Can I ask another question?
You may.
In this time, is Daisy and Moonweaver still alive?
You see the young man flinch and look at you. Grabs his glasses and wipes them on his scarf. A nervous tick you've come to know very well from an old man you once knew.
I see. Hope got what you wanted out of this then.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
You'll see.
He looks up at the old woman and she nods slowly. She's right. You will.
You'll be a real asshole about it, by the way.
He looks concerned, a little offended. I will?
Yeah, you will. But you'll give in eventually.
I'm sorry if I was a jerk to you. I'm glad we
weren't.
don't have to kill you.
Like I said, you'll come round. I'm glad you didn't kill me too, I guess. That would be really complicated. But I guess
Come
that's
on,
okay.
lad. We have much work to do. Yes, Inquisitor. And he kind of stares back at this clearing, and you see him turning to her to ask him, to ask her a question. And you see her shoulders kind of shake, and it's probably mirth. You'll see, she says to him. And they're there one moment, and as they step, they're gone the next. Burke, you said 16. What are you aiming at?
16 reload, then an 11. Where she was.
Okay, yeah. So the moment she disappears, two bolts go pew pew as you shoot two different bolts where she is no longer, right in front of probably between your companions.
Okay, yeah, but to Burke, it looks like she got like Obi-Wan Kenobi'd and just like she just disappears as soon as I hit her. So I got her. Problem solved.
Yep.
Good job, Burke.
Truly,
Okay.
you solve every problem. Thank you.
Can we all agree on something right now?
Yeah?
Let's never travel through time again.
Never.
I would actually like to continue traveling through time. I just want to continue traveling how I'm
The
supposed to.
old-fashioned way. Yeah, right.
Forward 60 seconds at a time. Yep.
Do it
Well,
normally.
1 second at a time.
1
probably.
second at a time.
Not
Yeah,
really
sorry. It's actually kind of scrambling here right now.
Did we just get a hall pass?
More like a absence note, a sick note from your physician saying that you've got pneumonia and can't go to school. You know? I'm looking around and realizing that maybe, just maybe, Sir Star went to school, and that's it.
Hey, I went to
The more
school.
you know.
Yep.
Wait, no, I didn't go to school, did I?
You didn't go to school, darling, no.
I did.
I went, but
That's
It
true.
was-
You went to religious school. Roger's been to Catholic school.
he did, and it was a problem. He was a really good student.
Welp.
Is it dark out now, then? Or
It is just before dawn.
we gotta hustle our butts so that you can find a place to sleep where it's not gonna move on you during the day.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because I'm afraid you can't come into Rosebark. So
Or we
maybe
could
we
just.
can find you.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We could just stay here until it's, dark again.
Are there
You still can't get into Rosebark, though.
Are there like buildings outside Rosebark, like farmland or
There are.
like somebody with a shed who probably wouldn't look in it? You know?
We got a map, y'all. If you want to head
Ooh.
to, we do have a fancy map, which I think, though, unfortunately, those of you listening, we'll get it to you next time. But there are a series of farms that are outside the walls.
We could probably hustle our way to somebody's horse barn and you could sleep in the hayloft.
Oh man.
We did not get a introduction to Ryan, did we?
We did not, actually. You're right.
Oh, my bad. I did not do the thing. I was just like, he's bad, and the bunny run away, and it's fine. But no, we didn't do to run it. I keep forgetting that my characters need introductions too, and so I guess we'll do one right now.
All right, Chucky
Because
Lees.
apparently that's how I'm talking. What's up?
I said, all right, Chucky Lees.
So I'm playing. So Ryan Rogers is my DM PC. It is one of the NPCs that I play pretty regularly. He is a emotionally unstable, hyper-religious vampire that is come to a crisis with his own faith. Of how much do we go into this? Probably not much more than that. He is a vampire that is looking to help overthrow the vampiric nation of Nocturna for a multitude of reasons, one of which is they're jerks. And he learned to love humanity after his exile from his nation. Grew up as a human on the farm at the center of Nocturna. The farm is a place where they breed their food, and they have this pretty messed up tradition that the most pious and religious among them, to the faith of their one true god, Dracul, gets to be raised to the blood once a generation. Rogers was devout and lucky enough to be that person, and he found that they didn't take much kindly to him when he became a vampire than when he was still a human. Exiled, learned about humanity, came from there. That's his quick and dirty introduction. Sorry, forgot to give him a proper one.
But what does he look like, DM?
Oh my God!
Is he
Look,
pretty?
because he's the only one that doesn't have a freaking photo.
I know.
Duh. He is really pretty. It's a problem. He is in our little music video. He's got long-ish black hair, incredibly pale, maybe 5'10", 5'11", very slight, wiry build, on two little cute fangs that hang out when he wants them to. And you can see him at the end of the episode.
He's a
He's quite
vampire
handsome.
entirely because of a random roll, and it's great.
No, that is one of my favorite moments of this campaign.
And we keep him around because we love him. And he's
We-
We
handsome.
do.
We do, and
We
yeah,
went into the Feywild after him because we didn't know what else to do if he didn't give us direction, and look what the fuck happened.
I mean, yeah, all of a sudden these things happened.
Now we
And
know not to
Burke
follow
is-
vampires in the Feywild.
Never the fuck again. That is
No,
true.
it's not worth it. And Burke is what?
And Burke is over in the corner, tactically dumping dirt onto his pretty little face.
Burke has the biggest hate boner for that poor vampire. There's been so many sessions where he's just spent under Burke, and not in a fun way.
Burke doesn't
And
hate Rogers.
No,
Rogers
he
hates
just
Burke.
yes, very much so. But that does bring. Okay, plan is head to Hayloft.
Yeah,
Hide
find
Rogers in one.
some barn, shed, somewhere where he can hide while we go into Rosebark and figure out what the fuck to do next.
Amazingly enough, the piece of dialogue that I had for him that we interrupted to do who he is was, "Are you asking me to get a toss in the hay, Vesper?" And with that, I think we'll be on break. So we will be back in about 15 minutes. Is that right, Peercy?
That's perfectly correct.
Excellent. And we'll all see you soon. We'll figure out how our poor time-traveled friends can get back to reality and get their lives back in order. And, save the world when they got some time.
Ugh.
Thank y'all. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hope you have been watered in turn. And welcome back to Fables of Alaemyr. Hello.
Wah! Woo!
We are real
we have
people.
a map.
We have a map.
Oh my
Uh,
god, it's a map.
Wait, so hold on. We have a stream and there's things you can see. Hold on a second. What is this nonsense?
Sounds fake, but okay.
It sounds 100% fake. So I believe what you guys are seeing right now. So I'm going to open up a new tab and actually watch my own stream.
Ew.
Ew, that's so self-whatevering. Is the map of Rosebark. Rosebark. Oh, I cannot be listening to myself on loop 7 seconds away. That's going away real quickly. But yes, you can see the map of Rosebark. That is the city in the northeast-ish part of Zapir. One of the 5 continents of my world. And we will be entering back in from our little rest. Probably in a farm loft just outside of Rosebark. Very early in the morning.
So, for clarity, Dungeon
Mhm.
Master,
Rosamy.
how many... We got back, then 4 days passed, but we were talking to Time Lady.
Time lady.
How... I guess we'll find out when that is in the time?
You will. All right. I mean,
Or
for
do you wanna tell
simplicity,
us?
I will just tell you guys because for
Okay.
simplicity purposes, you probably would remember as characters because it's actually been 3 times as long out of game than it was in game. Ironically, in those 6 months,
So
Yeah.
long.
it's been so long since we've last done these things. So, due to some carefully sculpted events in time, it was 3 days after you successfully defended Rosebark. The following day was actually Vesper's birthday. Happy birthday, Vesper! You're 25 again.
Yeah, that's
God, how old am I actually?
25 in 6 months, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
physically 25 in 6 months.
Probably physically a lot older than that. She's been through some shit.
Well, my body has been on this planet for 25 years and 6 months, but as far as the calendar is concerned, I'm 25 years old in 2.5 days.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
got it.
yeah. So it was Vesper's birthday. The next day, I believe you guys were running back and forth trying to figure out solving some lycanthropy problems.
Yes.
And then the third day, you realized Rogers was nowhere to be found and decided to go chase after that fickle Fey vampire boy into the Fey wilds.
I had a
So
dream.
you did.
Yep.
You did have a dream.
Mhm.
Which reminds me.
Uh-oh. Shouldn't have brought it up.
You shouldn't have. I would have forgotten. I really would have. But now we've just solved these problems and made more new ones. But yeah, it has been approximately, call it 6 to 24 hours after you guys would have departed into the Feywilds that you are now brought into the regular flow of time. You are probably a mile, maybe a little more, outside of Rosebark with your incredibly knowledgeable... is my mouth moving now? Okay, better.
A little bit lag.
Whatever, it's fine. I will fix the mouth next time, I promise. So you're probably about mile to mile and a half outside of Rosebark's walls, and you are approximately, call it 12 to 24 hours after you departed into the Feywilds. It's approximately about that timeline,
Okay.
if that helps.
It is, in fact, the question I was asking.
Brilliant. We are working our way towards a solution. All right. Well, we can pick back up. We can pick back up with you guys in that grove, or we can move ahead a little bit to shoving Rogers in a barn. Let's pick it back
Which
up in
is
the
fine.
grove.
Okay, never mind.
All right, what's fine, whatever.
I was going to say, just finding the appropriate barn. And, that doesn't look busy, you know?
I mean,
Roll for barn.
Roll for
please roll
for
to find
barn.
barn. Investigation barn, please.
I was at. All right.
You-
D20.
All right, Burke, do it. Do it, Burke. Break down all the barns. Do it.
Natural 20. Okay.
Oh god, on this, of course. Well,
Of
here
course,
we are.
you know what? I'm glad I can waste those good 20s on something.
Mm.
Yeah. So Burke, you find a series of this is like 6 or so farms on the eastern side of Rosebark. They all have barns of one form or another. Being as it is maybe an hour or two before dawn, it's pretty damn quiet. You find one that currently is not housing any animals for one reason or another. Probably a bad reason due to there just being a siege upon this town. And you put Rudders in hiding place in a barn that has some well-maintained wood paneling that will not burn his ass during the day.
We tell him, go sleepies. Don't go anywhere. I swear to god, if you get pulled into the Feywild again, I'm leaving you there.
I'll stay with him.
You sure? We've got negotiations and things about Hartford Hall. I thought you'd want to be involved in that.
Yeah, I do.
Won't be long. We can come check on him this evening.
Yeah.
And you can always
Ah.
message him, right?
I can.
I'll be fine. I want to go back to the Fae probably about as much as you do.
Well, I assume you didn't want to go the first time either.
I'm actually more worried about a farmer coming in and finding a vampire sleeping in their barn.
Here. And I will take off my hat of disguise and give it to him.
He
This'll-
puts it. Good.
You have to sit with it for a bit, but should let you disguise yourself as a regular person.
This'll do. And he takes his tunic and unbuttons it all the way down, leaving it spread open. And then he says, "All right, I'll have fun with this in an hour. Thank you, Vesper."
Confused about why he's unbuttoning his shirt when I've given him a hat, but you do you, buddy.
More comfortable without my shirt on.
Of course you are.
All right. And your vampires safely tucked away outside the magical anti-vampire walls.
All right.
Wait,
Back
the
to it.
what?
Okay.
Oh, right. That's right. Maybe you don't know that, or Burke doesn't know that, or
Burke
Ian may not
was
know
not
that.
here this last
Ian
time.
doesn't know that. I have
Ian doesn't
never
know
been
that.
here. This is a completely new thing for both me and Burke. So I
So
will
we-
be like the audience, and whenever you say something batshit crazy, I'm just going to bring up I don't know Rosebark. Besides Burke having a written pass about possibly maybe destroying it in the future, whatever. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We've
I
never
mean-
asked questions, and we're not about to start.
It's a lot more put together than the last time you saw it. That's for certain.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't choose the sturdiest barn that we didn't end up breaking down. Don't worry about it.
The only barn he remembers. It's the only one that remained standing, and he was like, "Oh, hey."
Oh yeah, that one. Oh, it was hard to push down.
But yes, I'm happy to sit in as the audience. What the fuck was that person?
I forgot that Burke wasn't with us. I forgot that Ian wasn't with us because
That's
Kestrel
right.
didn't do this either. Yep.
That's
Nope.
right. Orchestral was out doing his own thing. He was pirating.
So Burke,
Yeah.
we saved this settlement from Willard and his weird army 2 nights ago? 3 nights ago? 2 nights ago?
3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I think 3.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, and I'm asking in character. 3 nights ago. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And we had to, while Vesper and Sir Hode, oh God, Does that matter? That you're not Sir
We
Hild
found
right now?
2 new people in the woods. Go figure.
Will not matter.
Okay. Because, yeah, this guy's going to be... Burke, yeah, we found you in the woods. Sounds good. Rescued you from the vampire army? Maybe?
Oh, I like that. Maybe you were prisoners or something.
All right. And, yeah. All right, good. That's good. And you fought off a big bombad vampire. That guy was a jerk, actually. I remember
Yeah, I did do that.
his memories now. Well, that's...
That was a
Yeah.
bold strategy.
It paid off at first, and then he went and recovered and came back and nearly kicked our asses. But Rogers came in and saved us from that, actually. Distracted him.
Right. That's when we
got him
got
to
back
run. Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ruby.
Yep. Yeah, because you were running towards the mayor's house with the ruby to set it in to get all the vampire bullshit out of the city. Or we actually have no idea what would happen to a vampire if they were in the city when the barrier is up.
That's right.
We should ask, probably.
And now I've got a crap load of rubies.
Mm-hmm.
I am beginning to remember
Good.
more now.
Good. That's
Good.
a lot less worrisome.
You said
We are
something
prepared to change the city.
Yeah.
about... You guys said something about Hartford?
Okay. Do you know about House Hartford? Do you remember?
I have the vaguest idea of being in Tyr and how someone we were with tried to accost an old lady.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think she was Hartford. I
Yeah.
think maybe I helped them. Everything else is a little fuzzy.
I actually don't think any of us were with you either of these times, but from what you've told us, you saved the lady of the matriarch of House Hartford from having something stolen from her, from having her purse snatched or something.
Oh.
And she told you to come to her house later to get a reward, which you did. You met with her son, whose name is Lord Harold Hartford. And
Harold.
he, after finding out that you're a musician, performer, offered you sort of an apprenticeship with, not an apprenticeship, like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Music slavery.
Oddly, that's not it. Like, basically offered to let you work for them on behalf of their house in exchange for pay and letting you wear their house colors and basically represent them as a bard
Oh, okay.
on the road, which you did. And then after the Rosebach thing happened, we came here, we saved them. You sent a message to Lord Hartford saying, you know, they offered to, or rather, the people of Rosebach, Mayor Podry, offered to grow a building for us as reward. And you had the idea to name it Hartford Hall after your patrons. I know they're patrons, but what are you if they are your patrons? That's the word that I want. Anyway. Yeah. You work for them. That's what's important. And Lord Hartford said, yes, that would be lovely. Thank you so much. In exchange, we're going to promote you to official diplomat of the family. You are authorized to speak on our behalf in small ways, and you have access to a stipend, I believe, and there's one other thing. Oh, they gave you a surname that you can use if you want. Not Hartford, but Heartland. Which you've
Okay.
been using until you met your biological father, at least.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, we have permission to make Hartford Hall, and you and Sir Star... Is it okay to call you that, Sir Star? Or Sir Stormhammer be better?
Sir Star is what I'll use going forward.
Okay.
I will be living my life differently. now that we have a directed mission, let's say.
Yeah. Willard is going to become aware of us soon if he's not already.
Hmm.
Because we're going to make ourselves a giant pain in his ass.
Willard.
I hide no longer.
Exactly.
All right.
And she smiles. But, Sir Star and you, Talon, had the idea to make Hartford Hall first into a music hall and tavern for the public, but to have it secretly be our base of operations for the Black Doves.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I kind of I thank you for filling in the details. I
Yeah.
kind of remember now. All right.
Yeah. It'll come back to you.
We're supposed to
sure.
talk to Lord Hartford now?
No, Lord Hartford lives in Tyr, so we'll get in contact with him. You sent him a message and he sent one back. But we're going to talk to Mayor Podry, who's in charge of Rosebark, about the details of the hall. He's going to talk to his grower, I guess,
Okay.
because they grow things here and don't build them, which is wild.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
But later on, this city falls. Everyone inside dies. Or is enslaved. Buildings raised black. Politics mean little, do they not?
Not unless we stop it.
We are hoping to avoid that exact thing.
Oh, good information.
Yes. I don't know if when Rosebark fell is a date that we have, but we do know that it happens. Presumably.
I don't think you were ever given a date because I don't know. I don't know if you ever got a date from. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I know we have ledgers and stuff, but I don't know if that would have been something included on them. But it's like
It wasn't a major military outpost of any sort. It was a target of interest to certain people, but it wasn't like major events that would happen in a war. And the place that you rated with all those information and ledgers was not super close to Rosebark.
No.
So it wouldn't be too super relevant. So I'm going to say no, you did not know exactly the date. But you did come across the ruins when you showed up in the future.
Yes, that was the first clue that something had gone wrong, in fact.
Something's wrong. The city we were just in is completely razed to the ground. Our DM hates us. Damn it.
Yeah, we're hoping that just doesn't happen, but we've got a lot of steps between now and then. And I think the first thing we need to do is rest for a bit.
To the barn.
Oh, we can sleep in beds. We
Agreed.
were staying with the mayor.
Yeah.
I think I made a bad deal with him. For wine shipments. For something. I didn't write it down and it's been a long time. But my sister's probably on her way here. So that's nice.
I distinctly remember you saying she may not be so happy about that deal, though.
Yeah, I did say that. She's gonna kick my ass. And I'm really... not looking forward to it, but I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, it'll mean that she's alive.
In that
And
case, I'll get the popped seeds.
Yep, she's... I don't know if you've met her, Sir Star.
I have not.
She's a lot. But I love her more than anybody else in this planet, so, you know. We'll see that as it goes.
I think your sister's all right.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a start. She's a lot. I know she's a lot. So,
She's not you, but
So, all right, I'm letting you guys know. I'm assuming you are walking from the barns towards the city, correct?
yeah, walking
Yes.
and
As you're having
talking.
this conversation? Yeah, that's what I
Walking and
assumed.
talking. Yeah.
For a little context, the barns are on the eastern part of Rosebark. So the closest place would be the north gate, which would be the entertainment ward you'd be heading into. Do we have our city sounds up, Peercy?
they're rolling.
Hell yeah, that's super cool.
I just bumped him a little.
Cool. Yeah, as we're now in the city. Thank
Right.
you, thank you. As you guys head the streets of the entertainment ward, the city's certainly seen better days. It's not 3-4 days ago the siege happened. Of course, it feels longer for y'all because, from your perspective, it was. But the damage to the city has begun to heal. I mean that both metaphorically and literally, in that the walls that were destroyed with siege engines have begun to regrow themselves. You can see that the red-veined wood that runs within the city itself is beginning to reform the shape that it once held. As you walk down the main street in Rosebark itself, a couple of things that are striking. You notice that it's really only the outer wall that has that red-veined wood, known as rosewood, that is beginning to regrow itself. Many of the shops and homes and buildings have seemed to sustain some damage that have not healed themselves by any means. They are just mundane lumber. As you're walking down the north gate, which is the entertainment ward in a lot of entertainment and residential, you pass an inn. The Feathered Down Inn is kind of the first major place of business that you see when you enter into the ward itself. To your left, there is a rather large garden known as the Living Maze, and there's mostly residential around here. And that is what you see.
The mayor's
Feather down.
house.
To the mayor's house we go! All right, cool.
Unless anybody wants to do anything else.
Nope.
To the mayor's house.
Okay, to the mayor's house we go.
Onward.
Onward we go.
Oh, hey, whoa, hey.
Moving in on somebody's territory here. Come on.
Rude.
I mean, fair.
Oh,
Sorry, y'all. Let me fast forward on my notes. All right. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm a professional, I swear to God. Okay, so as you guys head towards the mayor's house, it is damn early. It is approximately 5-6 in the morning. The sun is just creeping up. And you see the city itself is slowly beginning to wake up. There are people that are out that are preparing meals for the day. You see people stumbling along. Some probably a bit worse for wear due to drink or some other injury. You see a few people stumbling out of bed as they are going about their days. As you walk from the North Ward all the way into Rosewood Place, where the mayor is, you pass by the central market, which you recall you had, I believe, a heroic battle. Many lives were lost there. A lot of good people that you barely got to know. The Ironwoods as well fought and defended this place well. There's still bloodstains. The bodies have been moved, but this battle is real recent. See a mourner outside by a bloodstain, crying. Bouquet of wildflowers in her hand. A lot of people are very somber over the catastrophe that was just barely averted. But the gamut of emotions of the city is pretty wide. As you pass by the Feather Down, when you first enter town, you see a pair stumbling out, arm in arm, singing and crushing mugs together. Clearly been drinking since probably before the sky went dark. And life. The city's recovering. They're going about their days. But it's still here. It's thanks to you guys. The mayor's house. You make your way along the streets, a weird mixture of sadness and joy in the people around you. You recognize a few that fought. Well, more accurately, they recognize you. You haven't seen them in 6 months, and they saw you a couple days ago. So you get a few waves along the street. A few cheers, despite the early morning hours. You head to Rosewood Place. The mayor's estates is massive. It is the only building you've seen as of this point that has been grown in the same red-veined wood that is part and parcel to the city walls. The large courtyard out front of the mayor's palace, or estates, has been cleared away. There are a large kind of impromptu kitchen has been set up, as well as cots for people whose homes have been damaged and they are unable to live in them. So it's been a temporary relocation housing. It's been placed here.
Despite its look, it's not flammable.
New wood or living wood doesn't burn well, does it?
It does not.
She nods. All right. Onward. Go up to the house.
Sure.
Knock
Doors
on the
are
door.
open. Doors are
I'll
open,
walk
actually.
inside the house.
Oh, yeah.
There are a number of people moving around in the house. There's a large staff that works here. Inside the... Pulling up the right tab in my notes.
We have taken a half minute, maybe 2 minutes at tops, to like clean the fuck up before walking into town.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Y'all look pretty beat up.
Beat to shit.
It's excellent. It sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
So the sprawling campus contains the mayor's residence as well as buildings. All right. In the mayor's estates, there is, of course, the residence. Oh, right. You also pass by a stables. There is a woman that is manning some these stables. There are not horses in these stables, but a pack of dire wolves.
Right.
A woman in heavy leather cloak with a fur mantle and face paint, dark brown hair, and a split lip that she is seems to be none too worse the wherefore, is rustling the ears of one of these dire wolves as she's teaching them to ride, and is upon the back of one. Vesper, you recognize her, actually.
Mm. Okay. Who?
This was
Or the dumpster.
Zengra Wingkin. She was in the Great Ellipse.
Oh.
for context, the Great Ellipsis was a mercenary band that was all but destroyed after they took the wrong contract. She was a member of them for a while and left before you went on that fated contract.
Take note of that, and I do not have the energy to talk to somebody I haven't talked to in 4 years.
Didn't think you did,
Yep.
but I thought this is something you should be aware of because she's right here working with the direwolves.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Oh, you don't even remember your own friends? Come on. Vesper, get it together. Zengra Winkin.
Winkin?
Wing, W-I-N-G-K-I-N. I will
Okay.
spell it out for you in
Zengra
chat.
with the Z or a X?
X, please. Put it in chat. There we go. Yeah. So you see her, you pass by, yeah. There's a barracks you see soldiers coming in and out of that are working to help, really, without their weapons or armor, with tools. And heading with tools and to help assist the city itself. Sorry, you head into Rosewood Place, yes.
Gonna make my way to the mayor's office. Like, I'm not stopping unless we are stopped.
Nope,
Because we
you-
know where it is, yeah.
We keep
All good.
moving.
Assuming that he's there, and if he's not there, then we'll deal with that. But we keep-
You get to the mayor's office, and it is the first door that is actually closed. As people are pretty freely moving around there. Can I get a perception check, please?
From all of us?
Hey.
Anybody who would... Yeah, probably all you guys.
Because I'm just marching up and knocking on the
Mhm.
door unless there is some reason for me to not do that.
Sure.
21.
Nice.
Nice.
Nope.
15.
we have a nope, a 15, a 21, and a... Nathaniel, did you give me a roll? I did not hear
I
if you
did.
did.
I had an 18.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so got the gamut. Talon doesn't hear much. Burke, you hear some muffled arguing behind the door. Sir Star, you hear two voices, one of which you're able to clearly identify as Padre, Mayor Padre, and another is a female voice that you don't recognize. Vesper, you get pieces of this conversation. You don't understand what you're asking. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't... Excuse me. Speaking too quickly. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the city to hold. She can't just make a building for everyone. It's exhausting. We don't have the extra rubies. She's barely mending all the damage that was done to her in the first place. We won't build anything until we have the rubies to spare. I don't care! The city is saved. They're not worthy of this gift. You've been wanting us to bring strong blood in for years. This is what we need. They're not telling you everything. How would you even know? How do you know you can trust them? We don't. They have the support of Tyr family. This can protect us. They aren't worthy! Ask Rosebark if they're worthy. And the door slams open. An elven woman of rather tall and lithe elven woman with a black ink tattoo of thorns running across her entire body steps out of the door and brushes past you, looks at the four of you, and then marches off.
Vesper's gonna do that thing where you're like, the door's open, and you clearly just overheard something you're not supposed to, but she's gonna like knock on the door frame, making eye contact with Padre.
Yes, what?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Wave.
Nothing quite like being starting off your morning with an argument, eh?
What?
You heard that.
Of course we heard that.
Nope. Not a thing. What are you talking about?
Yes. I at least heard that.
It was hard not to.
I will speak with her.
I mean,
You?
I'm not
Yes.
going to pry, Mr. Mayor, but that argument did seem to concern us, and I would like once again to offer our assistance, should you need it, in convincing somebody that we mean you no harm. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Yeah.
Yes, politics.
No.
Ian's favorite thing to do.
Actually, no.
Mayor Podri, our companions, this is Burke and Sir Star.
we saved them from
welcome.
the vampires.
Very good.
Deception?
Welcome to... Yeah, please give me a deception roll. Thank you.
16.
Very good. Well, there is a place they can spend the night out in front if they need something to eat and some time to get back on their feet. We have plenty to do, so if they are good with a hammer or a saw, or at least can lift something heavy. You look strong, big fella, and he kind of laughs and he kind of raps on the side of Burke's giant pauldron. Sure, you could help lift a few things. We could definitely use the help.
Vesper's going to delicately step in between the mayor and Burke so that does not touch again. Just casually insert. We came to check in. Otherwise, it seems like our presence here may be less than welcome. And to perhaps discuss particulars of this building when you're ready.
Could not be a more awkward time.
I know, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Wait, why is it awkward?
The woman who just left, that is our heartkeeper,
Uh-huh.
Verona. She's a very, very good woman. She is under the misconception that the agreement we struck is not something she's prepared to follow through with. But I am a man of my word, and I will speak with her. This conversation is not done, and I will get it sorted.
Mayor Podri,
Yes, Mr. Lath.
how much do you have on your plate right now?
He kind of gives a almost half crazed giggle and just sits.
What can we do to help convince the Heartkeeper?
Wait, she couldn't have gotten too far, right?
You just saw her leave.
I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
It might be more direct that way.
I'll stay if you want to go talk to her.
I'm just gonna see if she'll come back. That's all.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I'll try. Regardless, I'll be right back.
Sure.
And Talon runs out of the room.
Yeah. The mayor sits down in his chair and says, "Please sit. You look as bad as I feel." And
Worse.
he pulls over. Appears to be dinner. A bit of stew that is gone ice cold.
It's 9
and a
a.m.
very flat beer.
Man's eating dinner.
Man has a lot on his plate. Mostly dinner.
Oof.
Um,
Hi.
just-
What agreement?
The same one that we were just reminding Talon of. In exchange for our part in saving the city, the mayor here agreed to grow us a building. And I didn't want to put the pressure on or anything. We're not exactly under a large time constraint, but it seems your argument has to do with us, and I take great interest in anything that has to do with me. So,
He rolls his eyes at you and he says, "Hungry?"
starved.
Nope.
He pushes his lunch from earlier that also hasn't been touched over to the side of his desk. Join me.
We'll sit.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat cold soup.
Yep. He's eating cold stew. It's more mass-produced food for people that need food.
So what precisely is the Heartkeeper's objection to us before Talon comes back? I overheard a little, but not the particulars.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Ooh.
Oh, rolling dice.
And persuasion.
She learned.
Help with that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm also gonna use because
Guidance? Wait, wrong character.
no, I know, wrong character. No, I have a feature. I'm gonna use one of my battle master maneuvers that I haven't gotten to use yet.
Don't hit the mayor. He's so tired.
Honk, I'm the mayor
Action
now.
surge.
Action surge. I'm the mayor now.
It'll begin. I could probably. He's a commoner, right?
Yeah, you can take the city.
Yeah.
Take this city.
It's a shame you
This is
left your
my
hat of
city now.
disguise.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
Damn it. No, I'm going to
We're all
use
burnt now.
the Mono Burke party.
War
Say
crimes
what you want by
campaign.
war crimes. Yep, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
No, this is features called Commanding Presence. When you roll an Intimidation, Persuasion, or Performance check, I can add a superiority die to it, which I will.
Nice.
Oh, well, the superiority die was a 1, but the
Okay,
regular
that's
die...
one more.
Yeah, exactly. The regular die is a 14. Oh, shit. Wrong character. This is a plus 10, so 25.
Oh, only a 25. That is a reasonable.
10 to this, because I've been playing a character who does not have good charisma.
She was fun, but this was different. This is a different one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, repeat your question, please, with your 25 charisma in mind, or your 25 persuasion in mind. It was what is your objection? Yeah, help.
What?
Oops, all diplomacy.
So what precisely is the nature of the Heartkeeper's issue with us? I didn't overhear the whole conversation, just the end. Mayor Padre, we've just saved your city from a vampire attack. What could you possibly say to us now that would drive us away?
No, I'm trying for tact. And honestly,
I promise I
been a
won't get
long
mad
few days.
at you. You've no idea.
My dear Mr. Lath, it's not about you.
How dare? No, I'm just kidding. Everything's about
What makes this city, one of the things that makes this city so wonderful is the protection the city offers. You no doubt know of the rosewood that you see around the walls.
You didn't know Burke could snort, but he actually snorts a little when he says protection.
It's like when you see a funny meme at 10 p.m. and you exhale hard through your nostrils.
It's about as much lap as you got at 10 p.m. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
He says that this city could withstand an army, and as you saw, did when it has the power it needs. Rosebark is a city that has grown, not built. Yes, many of these homes are built, but There is an intelligence presence. And our heartkeepers, its purpose and job is to commune with that presence. It takes a toll. And it can damage a mind after too long. The job is hard on those who wield it. And they oftentimes lose touch with what is real and become fragile. Verona is an excellent heartkeeper. She's been doing this job for over a century now, and she does struggle with separating sometimes inanimate and animate objects.
Okay.
The city speaks to her in emotions and feelings, and in doing so, oftentimes she will superimpose her own concerns and call it the city's.
Mm-hmm. It's
Her
not a sign
concern
of
is
madness, Mayor Podry. You know that, right? That's a sign of politics.
he kind of gives you a very weak smile. In my experience, there's very rarely a difference.
That seems bad.
What do you need from us, then? Do we need a additional show of good faith? Do you need money? Do you need...
Money, no. We eventually
Power
will
to the
need some
city?
more. We eventually will need more rubies, certainly.
we can provide?
That would be most helpful. The city, the one you so timely brought us back, is being used at an alarming rate to restore the city itself. So we will need one before long, but we should be good for a few weeks at the minimum. She needs to be convinced of your worthiness, and I don't. The city, she needs to be convinced that the city is accepting of you.
I don't suppose the city knows who saved it, does it?
I don't talk to cities. That's her job. I speak
Well,
for the
you were
people.
just speaking to her, I was hoping, but...
She seems to think that Rosebark has a will of its own. I'm not one to argue. She's been doing this much longer than I have. There may be maybe have talked to the city? I don't know.
We can be very persuasive.
That we can.
I'm sorry, Sir Star. Did you want something to eat as well? I think I have some breakfast here left.
I assumed I was sharing with him.
I thought he was eating soup as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad.
Mm-hmm. We're all eating soup, except Burke, who doesn't eat
Yeah, he just uses, well, rats.
rats.
Gotta
rats.
feed the rats.
Gotta
Eats
feed the rats. Of
Um,
course.
We'll see if Talon can't convince her to come back, so we can speak with her and see what she wants. If there's a way to convince her, then we will convince her by speaking to the city or what have. It cannot possibly be worse than what we've just been through. So,
So,
you...
go ahead.
Nope. Never mind.
Nope.
Keep going.
Nope. All gone. All right.
You
That may
go.
be a good segue to pop to see what Talon's up to. Unless you have something else.
Nope.
Talon eats soup.
Talon, you eating soup over there?
Nope. Probably
Yeah, they're best.
running to
All right.
find the elven lady with the thorny vine tattoos that was walking out of the office.
Give me a perception check.
The the thing I'm totally not best at.
Okay.
Holy crap. Okay, well, I rolled an 18.
Oh, holy crap!
But that
Let's
might
go.
not be very good still.
I mean, unless you have a -5, I think you're okay.
I don't. I think I only have a +3. So 21?
21, I think you'd be doing all right there, buddy. So you see a individual who's a bit taller than average. So you're able to see the intricate thorn pattern on her upper back that goes from red to bleeding to black that comes underneath her her shirt, her tunic,
Cool.
rushing kind of towards the center of the city.
Okay.
But you spotted her. Yeah.
Just run.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
It's just not to talk about. It's why. Why would you want to do that?
Excuse me.
You hear her
I'm sorry to. Please.
She kind of looks, blinks at you twice. Yes.
I just run like when I'm actually like full speed running to find her and get up to her. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. It seems as if you were having a conversation with Mayor Padre that may be, important for you to return and have one with us also. If you're okay with that. If I can ask you to do so.
You don't know what she's been through. You cannot be asking this. Why would you want to do? No one has buildings built in drone anymore. The last one we did was the frickin' the tree chop in, and that took.
I pull out a
She's not
crystal
ready.
shard from the future rose bark that I found under the broken heart
Ooh.
and show her. I don't brandish it in front of everyone, right? I just kind of pull it out of the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Might understand more than you think.
She goes still. But why is she broken? What did you do?
We didn't do anything. This isn't us. She's not broken now. I'm, please, we haven't formally met, and it is rare that I meet those similar to myself. And Talon bows.
She doesn't really acknowledge your bow. Did you give her the shard? Is she holding
No.
on to it, or? Okay.
Unless if she takes it, that's fine.
She would have taken it. She absolutely would have taken it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
she
not
just
gonna
kind of stares at it,
Keep it.
and she then puts her hand. She actually then walks over to the obelisk in the center of town and puts her hand on it while staring at the shard. What did they do to you?
We didn't
Broken,
do anything.
But you're not broken. Someone did. Where's the rest of her? You can't lose this piece. That doesn't work. No, the city can't. No.
No. Please.
No.
Please. This is not from now.
What? She begins to kind of speak to the obelisk. No, they'll make you broken. They'll make you like that. We can't do that. No. No.
We are here to make sure that doesn't happen. Do you understand what I'm saying?
She looks up at you and nods. She's crying at this point. Doesn't reach her voice, but her eyes are freely. She's crying.
We don't want this to happen either.
Okay. Okay.
I
She seems a little bit like lost and looking between the shard that you've given her and the obelisk and you, and is really just at a loss for words. She's mumbling to herself. She's talking to the obelisk, and no answers in return. And she's responding to herself. And, no, that's not the way this is supposed to go. It's here. We have rubies. We have time. We can do this. No, we can make this happen. We've already agreed. We'll have it. And
Rubies?
Bonk her, Talon. Just bonk her. Put her out.
You want rubies?
Give her the 9-incher.
We have those too.
Whoa.
I pull out a one of the shooter marble size rubies. There's more. We are here to help and rebuild and prevent whatever happens to this city
She holds out her hand to you,
from happening.
and for the marble. Do you give it to her?
Yeah, absolutely.
She takes it, and then she places both of her hands against the obelisk. And as she begins to stroke it and speak quiet, no, he'll be fine. It'll be okay. A small seam in the obelisk forms, enough for her to place the ruby within it, and then that closes over, and a vein of red shoots down from the obelisk to below the city, and the marble is gone.
What I've given you, the shard, isn't real yet. And Talon says with closed eyes and fighting to stay in this time.
Ooh. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. That is 18.
Okay. As you say the word yet, you feel a pressure of a dozen different worlds, each with the destruction of Rosebark as their central theme. Some of which it's a city of great power and industry, a national capital, home to millions, and a destruction by a race of creatures you have never seen before, in great ships that fall from the sky like leaves in fall. Thousands, tens of thousands.
I
And the
say
city is taken. Is it good?
no. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right.
I say kind of hushed under my breath,
Mm-hmm.
but I still say it out loud. I am Prince Talon Morarin, and I will not let this happen. This city will not be destroyed under my watch.
And that triggers another memory that you, once again, will pull back into this reality with the help of your brooch hole, as apparently the chat has loved to call it, which was my fault. I'm here for it.
It's great. I'm down.
I'm so down.
Hashtag. It's
Hashtag
terrible.
brooch. I know. I saw that and I was like, oh, yes.
Totally down.
Nerdy, stupid shit. And you see Prince Talon Morarin, Lord of Rosebark, defending the city. And his last words were, "The city will not fall."
So I will activate my Mantle of Majesty,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily against her,
Certainly.
but just to cloak myself in fey magic, giving me the appearance of unearthly beauty for a short period of time as I swell in this moment
Mhm.
and look at her. I promise you, as long as I draw breath, so shall this city.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
All right. Well, that's good. Okay. How about 30?
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Love that. Love that a lot.
Rolled a 17 and a 5.
She looks at you. An echo of your madness in her eyes. And drops to a knee. And swear to protect this city, Prince Talon.
I do.
She pulls you down and places a hand upon one of your hands upon the obelisk. Swear to her.
I swear to protect you. And I look at the crystal she is holding.
Mhm.
So that tragedy may never befall us. I swear to protect this ancient place.
Okay.
This bulwark against darkness.
Okay. Let's go talk to the mayor. She gets up and walks with you back into Padre's office, where your friends are eating soup, and Burke, who's contemplating genocide.
Please no, eat Burke.
I was going to say, are we
and
eating Burke? Sounds
Mm,
hard.
spicy mental rough.
I feel like I should just like have Burke learn to play hacky sack or something, just so that he's doing something in the background.
When
I
everybody's
mean-
eating dinner, and he's like, boop, boop, boop.
I just feel like if that's the case, we got to get that animated at some point. Just Burke playing hacky sack is going to live in my world, in my
Just
head
gotta get him
forever.
a set of bongos, man.
We did. This is the king of the bongo, Burke. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. All right. Yeah. All right. The two of you head back into the mayor's office. Y'all have been
Alright.
hanging out, chit-chatting for probably 15 minutes or so. For Talon and Verona come back in.
So? Heartkeeper Verona. I don't think we formally met. My name is Vesper. We've met Talon. This is Sir Star and Burke. We're here to assuage your worries and the city's worries that we might have ill favor toward it.
The prince said you were trying to help.
Prince?
She
Talon
gives a
just
slight
shrugs.
bow to the prince.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. We are trying to help. Rosebark seems to have been on the back burner of political interest for a long time, and we intend to change that. But to do that, we need a base of operations of some sort. It would also provide benefit to the city, the people who live in it. We intend it to be a place of joy as well.
She clutches something very tightly to her chest that she has in her hand.
We have, I believe, both the political and financial resources to make this happen. What do you need from us?
You need to prove to her your worth.
Okay. And how do we do that?
I can introduce you, but it will be up to you to make yourselves known to her. If you are the kind of people that you say you are, and you can show her, she'll make something beautiful for you.
Vesper's looking at everybody else in the room, kind of like, do you have any idea what the fuck this means?
Yes.
Okay.
The city's delivering.
Yep, that makes sense. As Mayor explained. So, Heartkeeper, you'll introduce us, then we can do our part, I suppose.
It's dangerous, you know.
I can assure you we've been through worse.
You know, I look at you and I believe you.
Good.
But communing with something so vast and grand is... She
As vast-
communicates in different ways.
We have some experience with communicating with the vast and grand, it appears, so.
Okay.
I need a night's rest.
Yeah.
My nose keeps bleeding, and I'm afraid my eyes will be next. But tomorrow... Is that alright? Or is the city on a schedule?
No. Tomorrow night should be fine. She says bring your friend. I don't know who she means.
Will she let him in? Can you ask? He
Says-
requires special permission.
She says he has it.
Very well then.
Audrey, I need your basement.
Sorry if you can hear my cat.
How dare. We all hate cats here. No. Cannot hear the Ken. She turns to Padre and... Padre, I need your basement. Of course. You'll have it. Until tomorrow night, then. And she... still cradling something to her chest, walks out.
Don't hold on so much to things that have not yet transpired.
Sorry, Peercy, say that again? I didn't catch that.
But when she leaves, before she leaves, I'm like, try not to hold on to things so tightly that have not yet transpired.
She looks up at you and gives you a nod. Till tomorrow night.
Nods back.
Mm-hmm. What did you say to her? Padre says to Talon.
Yeah, Talon looks at him and, like, squints, thinks. I convinced her that we are here to help by showing her the possibility of what may happen if we do not.
I will say I hope you're on my side of any argument that I have with her.
Well,
You look exhausted. Would you like a place to rest?
yeah. She also said that our friend was invited in tomorrow night. Please don't be alarmed by this. He helped us against the others.
I'm scarier.
That's
the only
true.
reason I'm alive.
Okay. I am more concerned, not less, by your careful avoidance of your friend.
You're a smart man, Padre. What does the city not let in without explicit permission?
Many things, actually.
Fascinating. Well,
Farmers.
what
Is
one? Farmers.
Yeah, farmers fucking hate those guys.
Those guys.
Those food-making motherfuckers. How dare they feed us all?
I mean, they're all on the outside of the walls. It makes sense to me. The player who can talk in more than 3 words.
Then
Oh.
explicitly would have dealings and knowledge that would have helped us in the fight we had several nights previous.
I see.
She just like does that little thing where she puts her 2 fingers up by her mouth and points them downwards like little canine teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I know I'd be dead without him. And all of us would be lost, so.
There are a few lifetimes I've lived without him.
We'll unpack that one
Yeah,
in
later.
a few minutes.
He if the city will allow him entry, just have him wear a cloak. It'd be a problem if people did not believe their city was safe.
Yep.
I hope you know what you're doing. This seems like an powerfully bad idea.
This is the best idea we've had in months.
Well, I have to get back to work.
Before you go, Mayor Padre, if you don't mind my asking, has my sister sent word back to you at all about her arrival?
I got I only sent the letter a few days ago. I couldn't imagine she'd be able to respond as quickly. Is she one to normally use magical means for communication?
Sometimes.
No, she's not sent me any missives yet.
Alright.
Informed her of her order and including a copy of the contract we signed.
Mm-hmm. There was no physical contract. I want to make that very clear.
Or the agreement that we agreed upon.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was just like, she made a
forgot that
stupid deal,
part.
but she's not so stupid to sign a stupid deal, you know? That's why it was stupid, is because it was a verbal agreement and she did bad math.
She did very bad math. She forgot about logistics.
Yep. And she'll nod and say, she might reach out to me directly, but I just want to know if you'd heard from her, because I haven't either. So I'll have word sent, just in case. But
I expect it'll be a few more days before she even receives the missive.
she's resourceful.
Okay.
Um,
Is there something you'd like me to tell her when she responds?
no. She'll reach out to me directly when she's ready. More that my sister is, as one can imagine, well attuned to nature. So if your heartkeeper needs assistance or a weekend, she may be able to assist. That's all.
That's a very kind offer. It's not something you learn in a weekend.
No, I'm not saying she learns it in a weekend, but I am saying that if there's any small reliefs that she can provide, she'd be honored to make.
I will
Such an
let
offer.
Verona know that a one talented in the ways of nature will be visiting our city.
Exactly. Thank you.
My pleasure. Well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to go grab 2 coffees, and I will see you tomorrow.
I'm gonna go have a bath, and then I'm gonna go sleep for the next 18 to 20 hours.
Sounds divine. Let me know if you need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Finishes up his soup, heads out, and heads off to get his coffees.
Cool. Politics.
Sorry, Burke.
Well, sleep is boring. As well.
Maybe for you.
You're welcome to go make yourself useful if you like.
That'd require politics.
Burke gonna go do some good deeds? Nah.
Fuck no.
You're welcome to stand sentry outside somebody's room and freak out anybody who walks by.
That's more amenable.
Right.
You can post outside my room.
Will do.
You were given access to 3 guest rooms to utilize. They're nice. They're not like rooms plural. There's not sitting room and drawing room. They are places to sleep. It is a bit more utilitarian than you have seen in most estates. It appears to be guest bedrooms. That is not really common, especially within Tyrian nobility, to have that few rooms for a guest. But you find some.
I did mean what I said. I'm going to take a bath and then sleep.
Great. Yeah. Perfect. All right.
Prestidigitation unclean.
Talon not like water. Hiss.
Technically it
starters,
works, but I don't feel like it's the same.
No, I mean you don't get the nice hot water bits.
Yeah. She probably falls asleep in the bathtub, honestly. And then it's like,
I'm certain she does after the day she has had, which y'all can tune into at some point when I put them up on his podcast, because that was a fucking cool episode. That was so much fun. Anyways,
Yeah, I had a house fire mid-episode. It was fun.
You did. I forgot about that. Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, that's right. We had to
Yeah.
pause.
No,
Oh, no.
there was no
No, we
pausing.
did not
it was
pause
all
at
on
all.
the audio track that I
Yeah.
recorded, and then had to sit back down and be like, to the editor, there was a house fire. I'm sorry for all the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Talon, while everyone's like getting into bed, or getting in the rooms, and it's not necessarily like it's more than a common room, right? Like not in anyone's bedrooms. That there's a common room that kind of connects them all. He's just sort of there. He pulls out his instrument, his Fakuluk and Bandori, and begins to play a song. And it's a song from the future where the A, G, and E strings are a quarter step up. And this tells me that that is the song of the professor. Not for any purpose, just kind of plays it as the denouement to the day.
So, Star, do you do anything with this knowledge? Also, Talon, give me a perform check as well. Performance.
Okay.
Like, how far apart are they? Is this after Sir Star's bath?
I would assume so. I would assume this is happening probably around the time that you're getting ready for bed from the common room, where Talon's just kind of playing. You could probably overhear this.
20.
Okay, then yeah. If it's after his bath, then as soon as he started, like, hearing the music, he would grab his lute and head out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 20, Peercy?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir Star, can I get a performance check from you as well, please?
Absolutely.
As Sir
good.
Star passes
really
by Burke, as Burke had been
26.
standing sentry,
Yes.
Burke specifically says to Sir Star, "Music's not tactical," but lets him go.
I've missed Burke.
Noted, Burke.
Okay.
Noted.
All right. So the two of you...
It was a 26 if you didn't hear me.
I did. Thank
Okay.
you. I was multitasking. So the two of you play a song of the professor. A song that opened a secret door in a future you hope never to see. That revealed to you secrets that could stop this time from coming. The professor, a god of secrets, espionage, and balance. A god whose goal is to act as the counterweight to other powers. It's not a well-known piece. It's not particularly beautiful. But it resonates within both of you in a very powerful way. While you play, Sir Star, you feel an uncomfortable warmth coming from your pack. So much so that it's painful, even through the leather of your pack.
Yeah, he kind of lets that spill out onto the ground first.
The pack?
The heat, whatever is hot.
Yes, it is.
I think I know what it is, but I'm not going to assume so.
It is a horn.
My kielbasa.
My
It is
future
a
bread.
big, meaty sausage. Oh no. Yeah, it's a horn. The same one that Inquisitor purged of something, but left many others intact.
So Star
Horn.
sends off a quick and quiet thanks to his god in his safe travels back. He continues playing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything change with the horn?
One symbol once again shows itself upon the horn directly. A black feathered quill. And pulses in time with your music.
Sorry, writing. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
At that, Sir Star stops playing and reaches down to pick it up.
It's no longer hot to the touch. It fits comfortably in your hand. And it wants to be played.
Thank you, Talon. You've moved my feet a bit faster than I was planning.
Oh.
It is time for a longer presence with my god.
I'll leave you to it, friend.
Oh, I won't play this inside.
Well, maybe we can practice that one song we've been working on.
I'd like that.
Tom just nods.
And
And I
so
think
she'll
in... Go ahead.
head off. Go ahead.
I think in this moment, with the two of you in a place of safety, surrounded by music and a powerful presence, and a peace that you cannot remember feeling in at least a lifetime. You look forward to your first good night's sleep in months. There are problems to be faced. An insane city you have to convince that you are on its side. A vampire lord in need of killing. A war in need of ending. Children need birthing. Fey queens need soothing of their insane desires. But not tonight. Tonight you've all earned your rest. Tomorrow, the impossible can begin again. But I think we will end tonight's session here. With all the impossible things before you, and a moment of peace at the moment.
Was there a chance that one of us was going to give birth tonight?
Y'all met some fucking crazy time people. There's always a chance.
Oh god.
So, thank you, everyone who stuck with us. I haven't peeked at the stream. I don't know how many of y'all are still here, but thank you for coming along with this journey. It's been something that I've cared a hell of a lot about for a long damn time. And it's really fun to be able to share it with y'all. Hope you had a great time. We'll be back in 2 weeks. That would be the 23rd of January. We got a crazy city to convince some stuff and a whole bunch of cool stuff to do. I got lots of cool stuff planned, and I hope you guys are there for every minute of it. Thank you.
Woo!
Audrey, my man, you need term limits on this shit. People go crazy.
Right.
Yeah, people do go crazy. This is true. Although that seems to be a theme tonight. One thing I will say, if y'all are still here, our outro is really cool, and I want you to take a look. So please stick around for just a second. And y'all have a wonderful evening. Come feel free to say hi to us in Discord. Bye-bye.
Night.
Woo!